This is Halo Witch, and this is going to be a psychic tarot and oracle reading. So if any of these messages connect with you in a spiritual way, if you feel that any of these messages resonate with your current journey, you can take that as guidance you were meant to receive. So all of my readings are timeless. It doesn't matter when you stumble upon my videos. That is a sign you were meant to receive something, some sort of message, or guidance or advice from my readings. So we're going to tap into the energy of the collective. So these are collective readings. I'm going to start off with an oracle card to see what comes through first, and then we're just going to keep building and see what it is that our spirit guides want us to know in this exact moment. God, guardian angels, and spirit guides, please give me some guidance for the collective. What is it that the collective needs to know? Please connect with the viewers of this video and bring through some guidance, some clairvoyant and intuitive guidance that the collective needs to hear in this exact moment. Spirit, thank you. So let's see what comes through. Okay, so we're going to start off with these cards here. So the first message we have is needy. We have needy. So you're in need of something. Psychically, the first message I get when seeing this card tells me that you are almost feeling like this child that just needs to be wrapped up in love and comfort in this nurturing energy. You're in this very needy energy currently, to where you are really just wanting love. You're wanting compassion. You're wanting someone who understands you. You're wanting someone who can help you heal your inner child. We all as individuals and in this earthly experience just crave love. At the end of the day, that is all we want, right? We all just want to be loved. We all just want to feel loved. We all just want to feel nurtured the same way you would nurture a tiny baby or an animal. So you're very needy during this time. And I feel like you probably have been thinking about this recently. There might have been a thought that you had recently during a particular moment. Could have been a bubble bath or a time where you were just unwinding after a long day and you were just like, you know what, I just need some peace, some love, some comfort. You're just wanting some type of healing energy, person, vibration to come through and kind of just create some comfort for you. Wow. Someone can be cooking for you is also the message I'm getting. You're exhausted. You're feeling very exhausted. You're feeling worn down. You're feeling tapped out. You may have been through a lot of trauma in your life also, is the psychic message I'm getting. You may have been through a lot of traumatic events in your childhood and your young adult years. Currently, there could have even been some traumatic events for you that recently happened. And now you're just wanting like a warm meal. You're wanting a hug. It doesn't even have to be romantic. For a lot of you, it could be a romantic relationship that you're wanting and yearning for in this exact moment. But for some of you, it could just be a friendship. It could just be closer connections with your family members to feel loved and wanted again. Some of you are just feeling very unwanted during this time. You're struggling with a lot of clairvoyantly, like what I'm feeling is just isolation, struggling with connecting romantically, connecting with your family members, connecting with your friends. So there's just a deep need for self-care at this time in your life, and that is why your spirit guides are bringing through this message. There's a deep need for you to really focus on yourself, your mental health. You may have had an emotional outburst recently of just stress. You may have just went on like some type of rant. You know how sometimes you go through like a lot of stress after stress after stress, and then you finally meet up with a friend or a family member or a lover, and you just kind of let it all go. Like you just unleash everything that's been going on in your mind and your heart and your soul. And sometimes it may come off in an aggressive or like harsh way, or you know what I mean. But I feel like as long as you're in the company of someone who's you know, someone that's not judgmental, you know, as long as you're in the comfort of someone who's not judgmental, non-judgmental, I feel like it could be beneficial to just get certain things off of your chest. You're holding a lot in, is what I'm tapping into. You've been holding a lot of things in, and it's time to just have a good cry. Sometimes it's good, and I feel like a lot of you who are resonating with this reading this far, you may have already recently had a good cry, and Spirit is definitely um, saying and confirming that that is what you needed, and it's okay. Sometimes we don't have to be strong all the time. Sometimes we can cry. Sometimes we can let it out. Sometimes we can vent. Sometimes we may say things we don't mean. Sometimes we may vibrate at a lower frequency for a small moment. It's okay. Um, it's okay to admit our faults and admit when we were behaving in a way that we don't completely agree with. And all we can do is just ask, you know, the universe, our spirit guides, God, our guardian angels. We can just ask them for forgiveness, and just, you know, it's just good to get things off of your chest and say, you know, I'm sorry. You can speak to whoever it is that you believe in, or whatever it is that you believe in, and you can just say, you know, I'm sorry for stepping out of character. I just really was feeling a certain type of way, and I just needed to get some things off of my chest. Spiritually, I'm tapping into a lot of like romantic issues that you have had in the past, relationships where you weren't treated the best, and sometimes it just builds up and there's a lot of frustration. Why? You know, why is it that I can't find happiness? Why is it that I can't find a happy relationship? Why is it that I can't find connections that feel genuine? It's okay to be frustrated about that. It really is. So, self care is going to be the first step. The second step, asking, giving yourself grace, asking for forgiveness. And I don't mean that in a, you know, in a way that like you did something wrong. I'm saying that in a way that it'll help you give yourself compassion, because I feel like you're being hard on yourself. I feel like you're being extra hard on yourself during this time for a lot of natural, raw emotions that are kind of overflowing through you right now. And you don't need to be putting extra responsibility and pressure on yourself to be perfect all the time. We have happiness, as I say that. Look at this. Mental health is just getting better and blossoming and growing. It's okay to have a moment, when, especially when you've been trying so hard. I feel like for a lot of you, you recently stepped out of a point where you were doing very well mentally and emotionally. You were trying so hard. You were putting all the effort in, and you may have had one weak moment of a panic attack, or a stressful outburst, or negative thinking. Even, you know, you may have been having all of these positive thoughts one after another, and then you had a weak moment of negative thinking, you know, feeling bad about yourself, feeling sad, feeling like change is so far away. And that's okay. That's still part of the healing journey, and your spirit guides want you to know that. So we're confirming that with happiness here. You are still healing mentally and spiritually and emotionally. I promise you. Happiness is on the way. Whenever we make big changes in our lives, there's still going to be bumps in the road. You know, when you climb a mountain, it's not just straight up. You don't just go straight up, and you don't just go straight down when you're coming down from a mountain. It's gradual. There's gradual incline. There's, you know, small detours, and you have to go this way and that way, and you have to climb this rock, and you have to step over this boulder, or whatever it may be. You know what I mean? Like, climbing a mountain isn't just a straight shot to the top. You know what I mean? A straight ride to the top. There's always going to be bumps in the road. Don't beat yourself up because you were doing good in your eyes, and then all of a sudden you made one mistake, or there was one moment that you just were really sad and you cried and ate a whole carton of ice cream. Like, you know what I mean? Like those small little steps, whatever it is that you're beating yourself up about, it's okay. It doesn't eliminate your progress. It doesn't eliminate how far you've come. You should still celebrate all the change that you're making and just get right back on schedule. Just get right back on schedule. And I guarantee you, you will reach the top to where there are almost zero moments of kind of stepping back into old behavioral patterns or anything like that, you know? So be proud of yourself. Happiness is coming. And we have naive. Very beautiful. Okay, so I feel like this definitely goes with that whole message I was giving of just, you know, thinking that you have to be perfect, thinking that if things don't happen perfectly, you know, you shouldn't be celebrating or happy, or, you know, it's okay. Give yourself some self-care. You can be, there are some times where you may have been very naive. You may have trusted people, and, you know, it's okay, because like I say in my readings all the time, the love we give should never be regretted. Any person that you've given love to, even if they took advantage of you, even if you were being a bit naive to trust or believe someone, you should still feel proud that you gave love in general, because the world needs it most, especially right now. So never be upset or being taken for granted or naive in any situation, because the world needs love right now. I'm going to pull some tarot and see what comes through now. So some of you can definitely be healing from relationships that weren't the best, you know. We have self-worth. Look at that. Two of Wands, self-worth. I love this deck because, you know, my original tarot deck that I learned tarot through, it doesn't have these little words. And I like how this deck has these little words that just kind of, it gives me the author's perspective of what they feel each card means the most. And I just like that. I like seeing or digesting other readers' opinions on what they connect a tarot card to the most. So Two of Wands for them, self-worth. I love that. I think that's beautiful. It's time to move forward. It's time to realize your self-worth. It's okay that you had moments of being naive. Everyone does, is kind of the message that I'm getting here. And it's time to move forward. Don't regret anything. Don't have regrets. Know your worth. We have dispassionate, Queen of Swords. You may have been having some moments of not being as passionate as you usually are. You may have been a little cold and distant. It's okay. Your flame will reignite, is what I'm hearing. Spirit, what else does the collective need to hear? So we have the Four of Pentacles. Spirit is saying it is time to lift your guard emotionally, and it's also time to maybe part with some financial stresses that you've been holding on to too tightly. If you are someone that saves a lot of money and you're very strict, Spirit is saying it is okay to spend a little bit of money. It's okay to spend money on yourself. It's okay to spend money on your kids. And that message is going for those who, you know, are very responsible, and they're always doing things right, and they're always managing money properly. It's okay. Don't feel bad for splurging. For those of you who may be a little frivolous with money and spending too much as a way to cope mentally and emotionally, now may be a time to start saving and to start focusing on mental and emotional problems at hand, instead of trying to cover them up by shopping or overspending. And then, like I said, in a non-financial context, I'm getting the message of, you know, needing to lower your guard a bit. You don't have to keep such a tough guard up when it comes to relationships. It's okay to let love in, is the message I'm getting. Even if you've been hurt in the past, you don't always have to just completely put your guard up to everyone you meet. You can let love in. We have hidden talents. The High Priestess. Spirit is saying you're way more talented than you give yourself credit for. Very beautiful card here, by the way. You're way more talented than you give yourself credit for. You're way more intuitive, psychic, spiritual. You have all these hidden talents. You can heal the world, change the world in a lot of ways. So definitely beautiful confirmations here. Bottom of the deck, we have Triumph. Six of Wands, Triumph. The Six of Wands for me is definitely triumph, victory, appreciation, being admired for everything you've done. I feel for a lot of you, your love life could heal, and you could definitely be in a place very soon where if you're in a relationship, you're just being more appreciated for everything you do. If you're single, you may be more open to finding someone like that instead of having your guard up and held so high. I just see a lot of healing coming to your relationships, your everyday life, your friendships, your career, your talents. Just a lot of good energy is coming your way. So comment down below to affirm that. Beautiful message came through. I hope you enjoyed it. I want you to subscribe to my channel if you feel connected to my energy and my psychic guidance. And like I've said in many readings, when you like and comment and subscribe, I'm able to tap into your energy personally, more effortlessly. So these collective readings can almost feel personal to you the more I interact with you and you know, engage with your energy in the comments. So I love hearing from you. So comment down below, subscribe, and I will see you in the next reading. Blessed be always, magical souls.